Guys, we're here with a quick update for the 2022 WRX. We've installed a front mount intercooler, and in doing so we removed the Perrin intake heat shield. In today's video, Jeff Perrin sent me a revised template to cut the heat shield out. So we've got our heat shield here, trimmed the paper a little bit as you guys can see in this B-roll here, and we've got the paper taped on. So we're going to be cutting this section out to reroute the intercooler piping around there, and then we can install the front intake snorkel that's going to pull fresh air from the grill and blow it back to the filter. So it's going to definitely increase our cool air coming in to the car, making it make more power, which is good. Make sure when you guys do print the document that it is to scale, otherwise you might be cutting out the wrong sections. Take this off, and when we cut, we'll make sure we cut on the outside of the gray line so we get the right measurements. And if you guys need to get a copy of the template, you guys reach out to me on Instagram, just DM me, I'll send you a file, or you can email Perrin and they can get you a copy of it as well. I looked on their website, it doesn't look like they publish it yet. That's something I'll mention to Mackenzie and Jeff next time I chat with them, so this information's out there for you guys. All right, I'm gonna slowly cut this out with my saw. If you don't have one of these, I'll put a link in the description down below. And I've got this, just, you know, squeeze down to the table, so that'll hold it in position. Clean up these edges. Alright, so this is looking good. All the cuts are nice and smooth. The rough edges are done. And if you guys were wondering, I'm not even going to paint over this because it's actually aluminum. You can test it here with our magnetic tool. That is not metal. It's aluminum, not steel. Make sure you guys stay to the end of the video. I'm going to do a driving test, and I'm going to compare the video footage from 2 weeks ago with the oil cooler. I've got temps for the intake. I'm going to compare after we install this back onto the car and see if there's any difference. Little quick adjustment on the intercooler piping. Alright, I've got my adjustments done, and the hardware is mounted down there on each side and up here, and we've got plenty of room for this to move as the engine goes up and down and around, so it's not going to be an issue. Plenty of space. Let's go ahead and drop the air snorkel in. So that was a pretty easy install mod. Took about 30 minutes including trimming and readjusting everything, and now we're gonna have the fresh air coming from the air grill back into the intake. So we're gonna go test those temperatures, but before we do, Perrin was nice enough to send me some engine dress-up goodies. So we're gonna put this belt, accessory belt cover over. So let's get that installed real quick, and then we'll go hit the road. So it comes with the instructions book in the box. You get a couple of nice Perrin stickers and then all the mounting hardware. Alright guys, so to begin here, we're going to remove this 10mm bolt from this side. And then you just pull up on this side. Stock one's off. So comparing them, this is the nice wrinkle-black, just like the intercooler piping, so it's going to match perfectly. It's got some nice Perrin on there. It has the cutouts here to help airflow versus just the plain plastic Subaru piece. So let's go and drop this in. Alright, coming underneath the hood here, we've got our two spacers. You got a short one and a tall one. The tall one's going to go on this side here. Flat side down. And then to get this one in, you actually got to remove this little rubber grommet here first. And then this pops in there. Okay, now we can set our engine cover on. Make sure you don't knock the spacers off their perch. So just set the engine cover on top. So we're going to put the longer Allen bolt in on the long spacer side. Each one of your hardware bolts is gonna, you're gonna put a washer on there. And so we'll thread this one through. So to help reach underneath here, just make sure you guys use like a 10 mil wrench. I've got a piece of tape on the underside to hold the nut into position, and then I'm just going to stick my washer over the top of that and throw another little piece of tape on it. So with that done, you can just come right underneath here and then just kind of get that seated and use this applied Allen wrench, get everything tightened down. After a few days, you want to go through and just retighten everything just to make sure that it hasn't loosened. So I've got the Perrin accessory belt cover installed. I think it looks awesome. I really like the wrinkled black finish. It matches perfectly with the intercooler piping and the Perrin intake heat shield. Plenty of space, and definitely going to give you a lot more protection as you're reaching around in here. Where the plastic one is really flimsy, this is sturdy, and should make it harder to get your hands accidentally down in the belt if you're working in there with the engine running. But hardware's nice, fitment was easy. This only took me about 3 minutes to install. Thank you to the boys and girls over at Perrin for sending that over to me. If you guys need any Perrin stuff, if you guys use the discount code JDM right hand drive 10 as shown on the screen, you guys can get additional 10% off whatever you guys purchase. And I'll have links in the description for everything that you guys see in this video, for the air box, heat shield, for the Perrin front mount intercooler, as well as the belt cover. And the trim there is just a leftover piece of trim that I had from when I did the oil cooler, which I'll have a link for the oil cooler down below as well. Alright, so here's some intake temps, guys. So look at the intake manifold. It's 69 degrees outside, and the ambient air temperature, what is it showing, Maddie? 73? So 73 on the intake manifold temp, 69 outside, so it's a 4-degree difference. I'll throw some old footage up from when I was testing the oil cooler without having the airbox heat shield in there with the intake snorkel. Just cruising to work, guys. So you can see 61 at the intake, 72 on the intercooler, or 72 from the air coming from the intercooler. That's at the intake manifold, and then your temp outside 55 degrees. So you do have 6 degrees difference there. And then watch, as soon as you get a little bit of boost into it, intercooler temps just drop. Okay, here's a 3rd gear pull. Let's watch the temps drop. Okay, face forward. And I'm super excited for the much lower air intake temps, because my car is Pro-tuned. It put down 323 horse to the wheels and 375 torque. With having that cooler air coming in, the car should build more power. Cheers with you guys. I'm gonna have a Elysian Hazy IPA. It's October here in Seattle, Tacoma area, and it's like 72 degrees outside today. It's sunny, which for this time of year is really unusual for Seattle, and I'm in a good mood, so I'm just gonna have a couple of beers today. Hazy IPAs are my favorite. This is pretty good, this Elysian. I've got overtime tomorrow, so I'm going to go inside the house here. I'm going to put all the footage on my computer. I'm going to start editing, and then I got to cook some dinner for the family. So, and I still have the oil air separator, which is right here. I'll be installing that next week. I've got the big brake kit that's going to be coming on the WRX as well, with the STI calipers that are sitting down there. So the last part I'm waiting for those is the stainless steel brake lines to come from Goodrich. So Goodrich, get on it. I left you guys a voicemail today. Hopefully they call me back. But if you guys like VB WRX mod content and install videos, track racing, install to the channel, I'm simultaneously building my GTR. Just dropped the engine off at the machine shop. We're going single turbo on that. If you guys like Nissan Skyline stuff, like that bad boy over there, you guys subscribe to both builds and follow my journey. And on a personal note, I haven't been doing as much video editing and uploading as I'd like to because my wife has been keeping me busy. And it kind of sounds something like this. Joshua, can you help me plant these flowers? These ones. And the one over there. As well as going to Lowe's and getting rugs for the front porch for the fall season and mums for the front door. Decorating the inside of the house. Doing plants in the backyard. Wrapping up all the lawn furniture. Reseeding the grass from last summer where we had the pool. As well as over on the other side over here, I'll show you guys, we removed the garden because the garden box was kind of getting old and it was all kind of rotten because we used just normal like alder wood. So I reseeded all new grass, new dirt, everything. That's all done. Pretty simple project, just like a day project with my wife, but the objective here is we're planning on selling the house. We're going to list it in May and we're going to try to move to Arizona, and I want to get one of those houses that I showed on the channel maybe a year ago that has like the big RV garage. That's the goal. So fingers crossed, guys, working towards my dreams. I want to have a big RV garage next to like my double 2-car garage for my wife and my daughter's car, and then I can have my big, you know, long RV bay with like I want to build like a mezzanine in the back where I can have like a loft with maybe like a little entertainment area, storage area, 4-post lift or maybe a 2-post lift, just depending on what works best. But that is the goal. I am super excited to get this place sold. We lived here for 10 years and the cost of living in Seattle is very expensive. I've been working in law enforcement for almost 12 years, so I've got a decent pension, and I can you know, collect my retirement at age 58. I'm 41 now, so I only have to work another 17 years. So if I can sell my house here and pay cash somewhere else, I can do pretty much any type of job that I'm interested in, whether I want to work at like a body shop or if I want to work, I don't know, just wherever, whatever odd job, I would be able to afford my bills without having to be stuck working in a jail, which sucks. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you guys, like I said, if you need any Perrin accessories or Perrin parts, use JDM right hand drive 10. You guys get 10% off your purchase, which will help save you guys some extra money. But you guys leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys.